Hi, everyone. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 in May. Hope that you're having a wonderful, fresh new day here, and thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate your company and your time. We have one of the most amazing communities ever. Thank you for the feedback that you give, the comments, the love and attention that you give each other. It's just wonderful to watch the conversations that develop, and just so happy that we're here for each other. But thanks again, and I encourage you to go out to our website to check out all the different channels that we've created over the last 5 years. 60andme.com is our website. We have an amazing amount of selection of stuff for you to read out there, all kinds of topics from travel to well-being. We've got downsizing, we've got celebrity news, we've got events coming up, innovations, technology, and most of all, financial security. I'm trying to think of all the topics, but there's lots and lots to read. So please go out to the 60andme.com website and give us your feedback. We'd love to know what you think of it and what else we could be adding. It'd be really great to have that feedback. But anyway, today I'm having my tea. I decided to have something a little different. I had a package of tea that was yogi tea, and it was a whole selection of the yogi teas, all different variations. And this one, I kept putting it aside because it was like, sweet chili? Do I really want a sweet chili tea? And I thought, no, I just don't want it right now. So I kept putting it to one side. But then I said, oh, well, I'll try it. And actually, it was really interesting. It's made out of mint and chili. It sounds crazy, but it's a very refreshing drink. It probably would be better in the summer than in the winter months, but it's a really cool tea. And when I looked online to see what how they describe it in their marketing, it says that it delights the inner child. And then it says something about this tea is all about calmness and contentment. So there you are. I am feeling calm and content. Here's my tea. Anyway, it's a really nice tea. I hope maybe you've got an odd or some kind of wonderful, mysterious tea that you enjoy. Leave it in the comment section so we can try it ourselves. Always good to try. So anyway, today's topic, again, we always try to write about topics that are of interest to you, that are things that you think about every day. And one that I think about quite a bit, and I'm sure you do too, is my health, and also how to keep my weight in a boundary that's healthy. Now, I'm quite tall. I'm like 5'8", so I carry weight pretty well, but I still need to lose some, and I've been tracking it back to what is causing it, because I don't eat a lot. I'm not like I eat huge pieces of cheesecake or bags of Oreo cookies, but I just have trouble keeping my weight down. So, this article by Linda Malone was really valuable to me, and she was talking about how to ditch nighttime eating. And I don't know how many of you have this same problem, but it is a very common challenge for people, not just older women, but particularly for us, because, we don't have the normal kind of, or many of us don't have a normal kind of family sit down dinner. And, we don't have a context of that kind of environment for eating. So we tend to snack. And I think that's actually not bad for your health, as long as you're eating a protein with every snack, and you're doing things that are healthy. But in terms of nighttime, Linda said she did one thing to help her get control of her weight, and that was to stop eating after 7 o'clock at night. Now, I hate to say this, but 7 o'clock is just about when I sit down to eat dinner. So, and I know if you live in other parts of Europe, it's even later than that. And if in the States, you might have had a 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock dinner, but by 7:30, 8 o'clock, you're hungry again, or you want at least a little snack. So anyway, it said it took her a lot of will and determination, which I know any change in your eating habits does. But she just said that she made that shift and lost a reasonable amount of weight. And you can read the article. I'll leave the link here for you so you can see exactly what she did. And again, she reinforces that she wasn't eating, cakes and cookies, but it was just that handful of nuts, a little few crackers and maybe some cheese. But looking at the small quantities, you'd think, oh, that's nothing. But it adds up. And she was saying, you have to basically reduce your calorie intake over, I guess, a period of a week or so by 3,500 calories in order to lose a pound. And how hard is that when you go out to dinner on a Friday night and eat 3,000 calories full of food? But anyway, this eating after 7 and nighttime snacking was really a significant breakthrough for Linda. So she talks about how do you change this? Yeah. So it's like everything else that we've talked about with well-being and health and jobs and relationships. It's all starting slow, starting small and then building up gradually. And the secret is to be consistent. One of her warning messages is don't ever say, I'll never eat again. Chocolate, cheese, crackers. And if you say that, you're setting yourself up for failure. I mean, one really good strategy is just not to have it in the house. Like the likelihood of you getting out and going to the shop at 10 o'clock at night or whatever is probably you'll eat what's there. And that is the challenge at night. If you've got cake or cookies or cheese and crackers or even nuts, you'll grab them. There's always something on your mind at night, isn't there? There's always something you're thinking about. So that's it. It takes time, be patient, and be proud of your accomplishments. Skipping a small meal at night is doable, and that's what Linda's all about. One suggestion that she makes, which I think is a really good one, is to eat more during the day. Now, you should try bigger lunch, our healthy snack mid-afternoon, and then you won't be as hungry in the evening. This is, I mean, of course, everyone's got a different style of eating, but for most people, if you eat a little bit bigger lunch. Actually, here in Switzerland, the food at lunchtime is the biggest meal of the day, and then at night everyone has a smaller salad or a soup or something that's not quite so filling. So actually, that's quite interesting that is how it's in a lot of places in Europe. The lunch is the big meal. In the States, it tends to be the dinner that is the bigger meal. But anyway, another thing is to consider fasting, because if you do the 12-hour fast where you don't eat from like 7 in the evening until 7 in the morning, your body likes that apparently. It's good for your whole metabolism and your whole being, not just for weight control. One other thing that Linda talks about is always including protein in your meals, even in the snacks. So this is lean protein, this is fish, eggs, dairy, or lean meats, because I guess protein revs up your metabolism as best it can after you get to be 60, and it keeps hunger at bay. You feel full. So having 3 ounces of a protein element of your meal is really, really good, and then half that with snacks. But swap out, high carb meals with a protein meal. So even peanut butter on a piece of bread rather than, jam or something. That's gives you a little bit of protein. So another thing that's related to the 1 minute rule of going slow is to set small goals. Stop eating like 2 hours before you go to sleep. If you go to sleep at 11, stop eating at 9, and then 8, and then back up to 7. And if you can get it back up to 7, I think that really is a way you can train yourself then, to basically for longer periods without snacking. I've got a really funny story to tell you. I don't even know if I've told this before, this story, but basically when I was in Bali, I don't like insects of any kind, especially ants, certain kinds of ants. And in my room, there's a bird that just flew by. In my room, there were little tiny ants, and they were okay. They didn't scare me, but if you put anything that was sugary or sweet, they would just come crawling down the wall, and they would find it. And they were so small that it didn't really bother me. But I used to then never want to go to bed eating in Bali. So I used to have a tiny, tiny snack and then make sure there was no food anywhere near me in the evening. So I think about that often, and it sometimes helps me to think about not bringing food to bed with me, not bringing a cookie or a little cup of tea and a biscuit. So anyway, that's a sidetrack conversation, but anyway. So another thing she says is if you don't want to eat before you go to sleep, what about doing something else with your hands? What about having a hot drink, just holding it in your hands, enjoying it, the texture of the feel of the heat. But she said, then of course you've got to think about going to the loo throughout the night or going to the bathroom. So drinking is probably not the best substitute. But another thing is knitting. What about doing some knitting or coloring? I love coloring. I love adult coloring with stained glass paper and butterflies and anything that's easy and I can paint outside the lines. That's nothing complicated, but something like that. Just do something with your hands that, and even listening to a book or reading a book. The most important thing I think is, like we talked about, is to not try to view stopping eating in bedtime you're a negative thing. Think about it positively. It's something that you want to do. That mindset, like a flipping the switch of making it a positive rather than a negative, is really powerful. And just stop doing it. You can do it. Come on. Well, I can't do it. We're in as I said before, we're in this together. I'm going to try. If you try with me, we'll be okay. Let's try to get down to at least 8, no eating after 8, or if possible after 7. Do you tend to eat at night? Let's have a chat. Leave your comments in the section below. Tell me what experiences you have and how you deal with it, and perhaps we can help each other. So take very good care, everybody. Go have some snacks now if it's the middle of the day, and avoid that evening snack. And tell me, what do you eat at night, and how do you deal with it? Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll speak to you all again very soon. Bye-bye for now.